We're quite lucky here in the UK, despite the problems that we've got, because we're not in Ukraine, are we, where things are certainly not improving. Russia is escalating its invasion. The Foreign Office has said that the UK is now going to send war crimes experts to investigate the atrocities committed by Russian forces.
And this all comes as 2 British charity workers have been reportedly captured by the Russian military in Ukraine. It's understood the volunteers, Paul Yuri and Dylan Healy, were detained earlier this week at a checkpoint in the south of Ukraine.
Meanwhile, NATO's Deputy Secretary-General has said it could be years before the war is over. Britain, as we were reporting yesterday, is preparing to send 8,000 more troops to Eastern Europe.
So let's go to Kyiv for a situation report from a Ukrainian boxing champion and member of the Kyiv Territorial Defence, Wladimir Klitschko. Good morning, Wladimir.
Morning.
It's lovely to speak to you. What is the situation where you are at the moment? How do you see it?
I'm in the capital, in the city of Kyiv, and day before yesterday there was strike of 2 rockets that landed in almost in the center of the city, injuring people and killing one of the journalists of the Radio Freedom. And in the east and the south of the country, the war is still going on, and so military action is stronger as it could be. And not to forget people of Mariupol, which is in the south by the Azov Sea, are still struggling. And it's literally hours for them to leave. We're counting in hours because they've been without water, food, any medical supplies. And obviously, due to all the bombarding, majority of them are injured. And if there are going to be no corridor of life, not green corridor, but corridor of life, we're gonna lose the civilians and mostly women and children.
It is heartbreaking when we see what is going on, and I think it's sometimes it's the pictures that paint a thousand words. And when we've seen many images over the past few weeks of Mariupol and just how the city, Vladimir, appears to have been absolutely blown apart, devastated by what has happened.
It is not to take it easily. I never, ever thought in my life I'm going to face war. And it's just something that doesn't have any rules. It's not human. And this, so to speak, special operation that Russian army with the commander Vladimir Putin have started 66 days ago is just devastating. And it is very important to understand, according also to their propaganda, Russian propaganda, Ukraine is just the beginning. And I just want to address the world, the free world. We must stop this Russian invasion in Ukraine now. There is no other way but stop it here. Otherwise, this war is going to continue. And we are in one ecosystem in Europe. We're connected with each other and in the world. We cannot look away and thinking that Ukraine is somewhere far away, doesn't really touch your home. Trust me, if you're passively observing, you're part of this invasion. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's why it's very important to stop this war together.
But how do we do that? How do we as the West and countries like the UK are obviously putting troops on standby within the region. We're sending you, a lot of weaponry, but obviously we're not coming into the country. Does that need to change?
There are many ways. Isolation, economical isolation of Russia. Because every trade, every penny that they're getting from the trades, they're using for the weapons that today killing us Ukrainians. You've got ports. Just don't take Russian ships. Just go out there and be loud about it and demonstrate and show your solidarity if you really can do anything. There are humanitarian help that would strongly need on with medicine, with supplies, just regular supplies that we need here in Ukraine, especially in the south and the east of the country. There's so much to do. You can do, actually. And I want to say thank you to Great Britain for supporting us from early days of this senseless war. Thank you. But please, keep going. And it's never enough as long as this war is still going. We don't know how long it's going to last, but let's make sure it's going to be short. With your help and support on different stages, it's going to bring peace in Ukraine sooner than later. So let's stay together and with one front and fight this aggression.
News today, that we are indeed sending out, and I think other countries too, are sending out experts in war crimes to make sure that the war crimes that have been committed are logged, are investigated properly. You, as a member of the Ukrainian Territorial Defence, are you convinced there have been terrible war crimes? Have you seen yourself?
Yes, I did see it in Bucha, Gostomel, Irpin. I haven't seen as many tortured, executed bodies of civilians with their hands tied behind their back, on their knee, and executed with the headshots. I've seen it with my own eyes, many, hundreds of dead civilians. It's just horrifying. And there is no way, but that must be documented. And international and justice for all this torturing, raping, and killing must come. International court will, and is documenting it right now, and will find every person behind this murdering.
You're a very famous man. You're a tough man. You're a hard man from your entire career, and yet the things you say you've seen in places like Bucha, they must change you forever.
Well, war has changed all of us Ukrainians that stand strong with our will against one of the strongest armies in the world. It did change us, and it did change the world. The world is not going to be the same, and this is another lesson that the world must learn. It cannot repeat again. And free world has been too silent since 2014, when Russia has annexed Peninsula Crimea, Ukrainian Peninsula Crimea, have started and backed up with military equipment, so-called separatists in the east of the country. That has been for the past 8 years. So the world was kind of asleep, and Russia just kept going. And this war that has started on 22nd of February is as devastating as it could be. So I just asking one more time, and I will not stop. Please support us. Please, let's stay together against this Russian invasion and this senseless war that started on 22nd of February. And only together, we eventually will defend the peace in Europe. It's not just peace in Ukraine, it's peace in Europe and the world. If we don't stop it, the consequences are going to be literally severe for all of us.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say you've certainly got your message across this morning. You really have. Thank you so much for joining us, Wladimir Klitschko. And do stay safe as much as you possibly can. Our love and prayers and thoughts are with you and your colleagues as well in the Territorial Defence.
Thank you for your support and keep on going. Thank you.
Yes,
Will do. Wladimir, thank you. Isn't it interesting when you talk to someone, and a lot of people that we've talked to who are over there, are very powerful testimony as to what they want the rest of the world to do, and what they're going through.
They're right to keep up the pressure, aren't they?
Exactly.
They really are. They're in the most terrible situation, and every time they come on, they plead, please carry on supporting us. But they do say thanks as well, particularly to the British government. So
isn't that interesting, though? Doesn't that make a difference? I think that makes and it makes a difference to us as the people of the United Kingdom, I think, to hear someone say thank you.
Yeah, former boxing champion there, who went straight back into Ukraine to fight for his country and is doing so well, but as he said, he's seen things that he should never have seen.
Yeah.